So I come to tell you he's alive, to tell you that he dries every tear that falls.
Hey everybody, this is Clint Louie coming to you with 5 minutes from Friendship. Thank you for being with me today. So I had something kind of weird happen the other day. I go to visit a man who spent a little time in the hospital. And so with COVID regulations and all, I mean, there's a lot that goes into just making a hospital visit. And so I go to the front desk and I have to give them my ID, and they print me out a special badge, and you tell them who I'm there to see. And I ask them for the room number and all these things. So they look him up, they give me a room number, they print me off a special badge, and off I go. And so I had to come in through one door and go all the way down to the other end and then up the elevator and on it goes. So I get close to where his room is, and he's in a special ward. And I look up over the door and it says high risk OB. I'm thinking OB. I'm here to see a man. But then the thought crossed my mind. I don't know. It said, well, maybe they've got another definition for OB than what I'm used to. So I have to ring the buzzer. The nurse lets me in. I go in, and nobody asked me, any questions. I just walked in. I have my little badge on, and I go in there and I find the room and I knock on the door. I didn't hear an answer, so the door was already kind of open, so I just kind of pushed it open and poked my head in the door, and here's this lady sitting there. She's an expectant mother, and she's sitting there kind of looking at me like, who are you? And I'm just looking at her like, oh, this isn't good. And I just tell her, I said, I'm sorry, you're not the fella I come to see. She looked at me like, what? So I walk out, and anyhow, I had to get things straightened out at the nurse's desk. It just serves to remind you that sometimes things aren't what they seem to be. And the Bible gives us a wonderful proverb in Proverbs 18 and verse 17. Now listen at this verse, Proverbs 18:17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just. In other words, there's always two sides to every story. And it's easy to make a thing appear like one thing, but then in reality it's something else. In other words, if I'm telling you a story, and maybe my story is about myself, man, I could probably make it sound pretty good. And I could tell you all about how great I am or how good of a job I did. Oh, no. But then my story may not hold water when somebody comes and begins to cross-examine, begins to search out my matter. When somebody else who has the other side of the story, when they come and they begin to search it out and begin to explain how things went down. What I'm trying to say is this: we need to be very careful about just appearances. And we always need to remember there's two sides to every story. So for example, if somebody comes to you and they start gossiping to you about somebody else and telling you how horrible that person is and maybe how right I am and how horrible he is, hold on before you pass judgment. Remember, there's two sides to every story. And remember that things aren't always what they seem to be. And it's easy to get led astray, even like me going to visit a man in the OB unit. What I'm saying is, let's be careful that we examine a matter carefully. We have 2 ears, which means we can use 2 ears to listen to each side of the story. So today, just remember, things aren't always what they seem, and let's listen more than we speak. And the Bible tells us to be careful about these things, and so we'll have to work at it. But anyway, this is Clint Louie, just sharing a little thought with you. God bless you. Thank you for joining me on 5 Minutes from Friendship, and I hope you tune in every Monday through Friday. God bless you.